there. Welcome back. Welcome back to the series. The name of this series is Your First 10K from Your First Book. This is part 4 of 6, and this is all about coaching. Coaching. Can you say coaching, ka-ching? This is one of the best ways to make money as an author. It is one of the best ways for you to really leave a legacy for your family and leave a legacy in the world. Like, this is one of the ways that you can really influence and impact a lot of people, thousands of people, hundreds and thousands of people over the course of your lifetime if you learn how to master this skill set. And you will not learn it in one day. You won't learn it in 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year. This is something that is going to take you a few years to master, to be honest with you. I have been doing this since 2018. So 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. 7 years, 6 to 7 years I've been doing this. And every single year I sit down and I reflect and I think about the people who I have helped in their process. I think about the people whose lives I've helped to change. And I think about the people who are impacted by those people, right? Because not only am I a coach, but I am a coach for other coaches. And so those other coaches are now making an impact on other people. And it's a ripple effect, and it goes on and on and on and on. And so I want you to understand that when you become an author and you publish your first book, you have opened up so many opportunities for yourself, so many ways to get paid. It's amazing. So many. Hey, what's up, Karen Rojas? Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you, beautiful. And I'm glad you put your name there because I'm not able to see the names of the people that are watching right now. So thank you. I appreciate you interacting with me. And so tonight you're gonna love this because I'm talking about coaching. Because not only are authors writers, but we're also teachers, we're also public speakers, and we're also coaches. But here's what it is. Here's how you can naturally just roll yourself into being a coach. It is a natural progression, but it will take you years. Okay. I'll be honest with you. It will take you years unless you hire a coach. It will take you years to figure out how to do this and how to sustain yourself and how to stay sharp, right? It will take you years. There is a huge learning curve out here in the coaching world, especially if you want to go into book coaching, which is what I do. If you want to teach people, I actually changed my title from book coach to author coach because I really am, like one of my friends said to me, one of my business besties, she's like, you're the author of authors. And I was like, hey, that has a nice ring to it. I'll take it. Oh, one of my clients was like, you teach people how to write to heal. She's like, you have a whole write to heal process. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll take that too. Like, whatever people say I provide, I accept it. I love it. I appreciate it. Because you know what? The way that other people experience you is very important. And that's the reason why we always want to do testimonials. We always want to do an evaluation. We always want to get feedback from people because we want to know what was the experience like when they were under our tutelage, right? What was the transformation that they made when they were in our classroom? And our classroom is not just a classroom. It's not just a four-walled building. It's not just a structure. It's not a bag of bricks anymore, right? It's not a bag of stucco. Our classrooms are expansive. I mean, our classrooms are social media, right? Our classrooms are our emails, our newsletters, our blogs. I had a blog before I had all this other stuff. And people would read my blog and they would stay connected to me and they would interact with me and write me messages on my blog. And so this is the love of my life. This is the privilege. It's a privilege. It's an honor. It's a wonderful opportunity. I am so grateful. I'm so happy. I love what I do. This is my passion. This is what I do all day long and twice on Sunday. It's what I do when no one else is watching, behind closed doors. I'm always coaching someone. I'm always on the phone. Hey, can I coach you? And you have to ask permission now because it's so natural, especially when you're a teacher and an author already. It's very natural to go into coach mode and start coaching people, trying to help people, right? It's just so natural. And so let me give you the definition of coaching. Let me tell you what it is before we actually get into this whole conversation, because I really want you to think about whether or not this is for you. I really want you to sit down and contemplate, meditate, think about this. I really want you to think about it before you get into it, because if you don't think about this and you don't plan, you will be miserable. If you try to be something that you're not already, you will be miserable. You will hate it. So let's think this through. So what's the difference between a mentor, a teacher, and a coach? Like, you hear all these people talking about life coaches, right? What's the difference between a life coach and a therapist, right? You hear this all the time. Coaching, coaches, coach, coach this, coach that, coach. What is it, right? What's the difference between a coach and a professor, right? Like, what? Let's break this down, all the way down, okay? So for me, coaching, and I've been doing this for a long time, even before I put up my website and started bringing in clients, I was already coaching, like, as a child. So this is a natural progression. It's very organic for me. It happened, and I leaned into it, and I accepted it and embodied it. And now I show up in my full power, and it's just who I am. So what is a coach? A coach is a person who guides you in the process of a transformation. It is a person who is not the guru, not the sage on the stage. It's the guide on the side. That's what I am. I'm someone who takes someone by the hand and says, okay, here's where we go. We're going to walk this way. We're going to turn right, not left. Okay. We're going to walk forward, not back. Okay. And when the person starts to look this way, I'm like, nope, go this way. Right. And it's the person who can explain exactly the steps on how to get to the destination. But not only that, it's the person that makes the journey easier. The coach is the facilitator of the experience. The coach is the coordinator of the events that happen along the way, right? Because when you go to your transformation in life, like, when the caterpillar turns into the butterfly, that's pretty traumatic, what's happening inside of that cocoon. Right? When the phoenix busts into flames and comes back from the ashes, that's pretty traumatizing, right? When you have a baby out of your birth canal and that baby comes out super healthy and strong, that is a traumatic experience. Like you need someone to walk you through that process. And it better be somebody who's been through it and who knows every nook and cranny of that experience, right? When you go through a divorce and you are battered and bruised emotionally, you need someone who cannot tell you what to do, who cannot tell you how to do it, but just be there to answer your questions and to listen to you, right? A coach is there to listen to you and hold up a mirror. That's it. Coaches hold up a mirror and they let you know where you are. And they say, these are your learning gaps. This is what I see. And this is what I don't see. And here's how you can fill in the gap, right? Like the coach is not there to abuse you or criticize or judge you. Because remember, the coach has been in your seat, in your shoes. They've been on that journey, so they know what it feels like. So they're compassionate and empathetic, but direct, right? Your coach is going to poke you in the eye a little bit. The coach is going to say things that are going to trigger you and make you snap out of your pity party and make you get into the reality of who you need to be and who you want to be. That's what a coach does. A coach is going to speak the truth, but not the brutal. Not the coach is not going to be brutal, right? Some coaches are brutally honest. Like, I don't believe that that's necessary. You can be honest without being brutal. Especially for people who are just going through the process for the first time and they're terrified. You don't need a coach that's brutal. You need a coach that understands, but is still going to be direct and give you the truth. Not watered down truth, not sugarcoat truth, but the truth and the support that you need to keep moving forward. That's what a coach does. A coach is going to be by your side every step of the way. Every step of the way, on the days that you need them and on the days that you don't. On the days that you want advice and on the days that you don't. The coach is there to make sure that you make it to the end zone. You make it to the end goal. You make it to the result. But the coach is also going to help you manage your emotions, because that's the difference between the successful person and the unsuccessful person. The person who's successful knows how to manage their emotions. They know how to tap into their body, their mind, body, and their soul. They know how to become present and grounded, right? The person who's not present and not grounded, that person is going to lose every time. Because if you walk through life allowing life to life you up, you're going to be lifed up. If you walk through life and you get triggered by everything and you're always highly offended, this is how I was back in 2015. I was always triggered and highly offended and sensitive and just really insecure, right? Until I figured out who I was and how to manage my emotions. And guess what? How I got that way? Through hiring coaches. I've had a coach for everything. From wellness, I've had a coach teach me how to exercise and cook better, right? I had one coach who gave me a food meditation because I was having issues with eating food. Like food is my drug of choice. So I've had to learn how to eat in moderation. And so I had a coach who sent me a food meditation, and I listened to it while I was eating, and it unlocked some things in me that helped me understand that food is not it's not medicine. It helped me, that meditation helped me reframe my thought process when it came to food. And it allowed me to create a healthy relationship with food. And I'm still friends with that coach. She's freaking amazing. And that helped me so much. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because I would not have known how to do that myself, right? I've had a coach for speaking, a coach, I've had a bunch of mentors for teaching in my career. So that was helpful. I've had a coach for branding. I hired a branding coach to teach me all about branding, how to brand myself. I've definitely had a marketing coach, sales coach. Definitely had coaches teach me everything except for book coaching. Like when it came to book coaching, I did the research. I did the 10,000 hours that were necessary to become a book coach because I just didn't know when I started writing books. I didn't know that there were book coaches. And if I would have known that there were book coaches, I probably would have hired one to help me get my book out. I definitely would have because it was quite a task. It was quite a birthing process, right? I had my mother and my mother-in-law there with me, coaching me through the birth of my first child, right? And that was a process. They were, my mother was on my left and my mother-in-law was on my right, and they were holding my arms and holding my legs because I had an epidural and I couldn't feel anything. So they were like doing their best job that they could do to help me push. And I was terrified because it was the first time I had given birth. And it was difficult because it was like an 8-hour, 10-hour labor. And it was rough and it was painful. And I had two of my favorite ladies right there coaching me through it every step of the way. And it made a huge difference because I was like, yes, I can do this. I have the support. I have the love. I have the strength. I have the power. With those two ladies by my side, I was like, I can do anything right now. And so having that first baby, woo-wee, that was transformational. Right? And so if you're an author and you've published a book, you can be a coach. It is not that much of a stretch. It is not that difficult to do it, but there are some things that are required. And so I'm going to give you the 5 requirements to become an excellent coach once your book is done. So number 1, obviously, that's the first requirement. You need to have a book that's done, that's out on the market for people to buy, okay? It's kind of difficult. And some people do it. People do it every day, you know. But it's better if you're a coach and you have a book. Because then that person, when they're not with you, they still have you. Okay? When they're not with you, they still have you. Because that book is a part of you and it gives them your best expertise in the book. Okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, you've got to have at least some kind of following somewhere on social media, right? Like pick a platform, just pick any platform, pick one. You got to have at least, I would say at least 1,500 to 2,000 people on somewhere online. Okay. And these are folks who are interested in your product. They're interested in what you have to say. Okay. So that's number 2. Number 3, you got to have an email list of people who are potential buyers or who are previous buyers of your book. Okay, so you got to have that. Your email list needs to have at least 100 people. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult for you to actually get a client. If you don't have anyone on a list or you don't have a social media following, you need to work on building that before you think about coaching. Okay. Number 4, you need to have a website with a calendar link so people can book themselves on your calendar. 100 people from friends and family. It should be 100 people that are interested in whatever it is that you're teaching. So if you're doing fitness training, for example, and your family members want to possibly sign up for your fitness program, then yes, that would be great. But if your friends and family are not interested in what you're selling, then they don't count. So you want to start putting yourself out there and doing things like this so that people know that you are out in the world and that you have something to offer. So yeah, if you are not used to getting in front of an audience and speaking, you got to get busy on that right away. Yeah, I have about 2,000 for both. Okay, so that's good. Both Facebook and LinkedIn. Okay, good. There you go. That's a good place to start. So number 4 is your website. You need to have a calendar link and you need to have a shopping cart, because people need to be able to book themselves on your calendar and they need to be able to pay for their session. Okay, and you want to do the pay for the session first and then book on the calendar next. Okay, so that's what you need. Number 5 is probably the most important thing that you actually need. Number 5 is a positive mindset. Okay, it's a positive mindset. And it says that you believe that what you do has value. Okay, you believe that what you do has value. And how do you develop this positive mindset? Here's what you think about. Think about all the times that you've been on the phone listening to other people's problems. How many hours a day do you spend listening to other people's problems? All right, so how many hours a week do you spend listening to other people's problems? Okay, so attach a dollar amount to each hour. And that's how you figure out how much you would be making in a week as a coach. Start to look at each one of these conversations as a coaching session, because you're helping people unravel their problems, sort through their baggage, and figure out their life. And a lot of you are doing this for free. For friends, for families, for coworkers, for church mates, for colleagues, for business besties. You're just giving away a lot of your hours for free. So I want you to flip that around. I want you to shift that. And I want you to start creating invoices for people who are on your phone talking to you about their problems. And I guarantee your phone will stop ringing. Your phone will stop ringing real fast if you start telling people, this is how much I charge per hour to help you solve your problem. And you might think, oh, that's kind of rude. Isn't that what friends are for? Not when you're an author and a coach and you're trying to build a business. You don't have time for all of that. No, honey. No, honey, you need to make money. Okay? So make that mental shift real quick. And those are the 5 prerequisites that you need. So number 1, we'll do a quick recap. You need a published book that's already out on the market. Number 2, you need some kind of a social media following. Number 3, you need an email list of at least 100 people. Okay. And that's separate from your social media. You got social media following and you have an email list. You have both. Okay. Don't try to double dip. No, you need both. Number 4, you need a website with a calendar link and a shopping cart so that they can pay for their session and book it. Okay? In that order. The other thing you need, number 5, is your positive mindset. This is where you need to think about all the people that you've helped over the years, even the people who you helped and they didn't listen. You know what? Don't get discouraged either, because you did help them. They just made a choice not to listen to you, but you listened to them. So they owe you money. You listened to them. You helped them make a decision. And what they decided to do was to not make a decision. And that's a decision. So congratulations, you did help them. So don't get all down about yourself. Oh, they didn't even listen to what I said. So that's not your job. Your job was to listen, process, ask them questions, and help them come up with their own choice. It's not your choice anyway. Okay. All right. So I've said a lot, and it's only been 25 minutes. I've said a lot. If there's anything anything in this conversation that you need clarified, you need to email me right away. Any part of this conversation, because now I'm about to get into the real nitty gritty of how you coach people. Okay. I'm going to give you a few little juicy morsels on how to coach people and be effective, especially for those of you that are maybe envisioning in your lifetime becoming a full-time coach, because it's totally possible for you. But you need to learn a few things, which I'm going to break down for you right now. Okay. All right. So remember, if you need support with any part of this process, my email is there. contact@LatashaJemersonLibrary.com. I will help you with any part of this process because it's a lot. It's a lot. It can be overwhelming, but that's why you're taking notes, right? That's why you're going to process this and debrief it later. And you're going to go back and watch this video again because it's a lot. Okay. All right. So what are you going to do when someone books themselves on your calendar and let's say they're not sure if they want to hire you yet, right? They just want to talk. Okay. So that's why you do a 15 to 20 minute consultation for free, and they can decide whether they want to proceed with the next step. And so during this conversation, you're asking them questions to find out what their problems are and can you help them? If you can help them, then you need to go ahead and proceed to the next step. If you can't help them, then you just go ahead and say, you know what? You're honest. I can't help you, but I could refer you to this person over here because they probably could. Okay. And that's one thing about being a coach is you will become really good at knowing whether or not you can help that person. And you will also start to look for opportunities. You're still going to help them by sending them to someone else, because that's really going to help them a lot if you're able to help them find the person that matches with them. If they match with their personality and they're able to actually give them a solution, and it's going to be a win-win-win. So don't be afraid of referring people out. Don't ever be afraid to say no. Okay. Because not everyone is assigned to you and you're not qualified to work with everyone anyway. And this is why you need to have self-awareness. And this is why you got to study yourself. And this is why you need to journal every day, because you're going to learn about a lot about yourself as a person, as a human. And then you will be able to better market yourself as a coach. So whatever your book is about, it doesn't matter what your book is about. Well, let me restate that, because it does matter what your book is about. So if you are writing a book that is a transformational book, it solves a problem for people. It helps them improve their finances, improve their relationships, improve their health, improve their spiritual practice. If it helps them to become more educated, more knowledgeable, if it helps that person to feel better and have more confidence and self-esteem, then this is a really great space for you to be a coach. If you are writing fiction, if you're writing romance, sci-fi, erotica, things like that, if those are your genres, and if you are going to be book coaching in that genre, then it's perfect, right? If you're going to be teaching people how to write fiction, how to write sci-fi, how to write children's books, that's a great thing for you to do, right? The book coaching industry is exploding right now because everybody has a story. Everybody wants to tell the story, but not everybody knows how to craft it in a way to where they can sell books. And so if you are really good at doing that for yourself, then open up a coaching practice and help do that for other people. Help other people do that for themselves, and you will be wildly successful. Okay. How do I know? Because it's what I do. My expertise is nonfiction, autobiography, biography, and memoir. Those are my jam. And I've helped educators, because I've been an educator for 20 years. So I've helped educators create academic manuscripts in the category of education, leadership, management, business, those kinds of things as well. But my favorite jam is the memoir. I just love it. That was my first book, the memoir, because it's just so personal. It's such a legacy builder, right? It's such a pride. You can take so much pride in it because it's you, and your family can take pride in it because it's going to create a legacy for them. It's going to put them on the map, yo. So that's what I wanted to share. And if you need help with any part of this process, email me. Contact LatashaJemersonLibrary.com. I can help you with every part of this process. Writing the book, publishing the book, selling the book, creating a business after the book, going into teaching, going into coaching, creating your business systems, doing your marketing and your sales, attracting clients, becoming a full-time entrepreneur. I can teach you how to do all of those things because that's what I've been doing for myself over the past 7 years. So this is the love of my life. If you have learned something tonight, today, this morning, wherever you are in the world, give me some feedback. I love to read comments. I love to read emails. I love to share. I love to teach. Can you tell? I love to teach skills to help people pay their bills. That's the love of my life. It's the passion. It's what I do best. It's what I do the most. And so that's all I got to share with you tonight. That's a lot of information. But if you have any questions, reach out to me. You know where I'm at. All right. Love you. Bye.